Finland's educational system.
Yes.
So fascinating thing. So about 3 decades ago, Finland has an educational system that's doing terribly. And they look around and they go, okay, what are we going to do about this, right? We got to revamp the whole thing. And they decide, for whatever reason, the Republicans here would call them, no good socialists, et cetera, that they were going to focus on equality. Well, I know, it's crazy in a democracy. And it's not equality of results because they didn't even do tests. They don't do any testing until the age of 16, okay? So no standardized testing, et cetera. Equality of opportunity. So they said, no matter if you're poor or rich or you're in the middle, our objective is to reach equality of opportunity. And by the way, and this is amazing and it would make Republican heads explode here in the US, we are not going to achieve, we're not going to try for excellence. Already like in America, that's like, what? They're like, no, we just want everybody to have a fair chance.
Right. They got rid of competitiveness within their schools.
Yeah.
Instead of focusing so much on pressuring them, you got to be the best, you got to be the greatest, you got to score the highest on the standardized test. They're like, no, we're going to step back. We're going to let you discover what you're passionate about and follow your dreams.
Okay, now, it gets crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, wait till you see the results. Okay, they said, you know what, kindergarten, preschool, canceling it. You're not allowed to go to school till you're 7. You know why? Because kids should be kids. Heads exploding here in America. Nobody can. Okay, guess weirder by American standards. No private schools allowed. None. Everybody has to go to public school, okay? But competition? How are you going to have competition? No, we're not going to have competition. Get this. We're going to pay our teachers a decent wage. Okay, and we're going to require them. Now, they're not getting paid outrageous, okay?
Right.
They're just, it's a decent wage, right? But, it's Finland, so they get health care, et cetera, et cetera.
And
right?
also keep in mind, they changed the role of teachers. They became much more prestigious. Like,
Yes.
it wasn't like, oh, you're a teacher, whatever, you're making nickels and dimes. It was like, oh my God, you're a teacher.
Now, so this is another mind-exploding thing.
Yeah.
Teachers are now, it's harder to get into school to be a teacher than it is to get into school to be a lawyer or a doctor, okay? And they have to get a master's degree, and then they can become a teacher, and it's revered in the society, okay? No standardized testing till you're 16. And the list goes on and on. So they're not even participating in the international tests because they're like, tests are silly. We're trying to find out what these kids want to do and give them an opportunity to do it well, right? And in the beginning of the 2000, I think it was 2000 or 2001, they're like, all right, you know what, let's test the kids at the end here.
Yeah, it was a PISA study.
The PISA test. Okay, so let's enter them in there and see what happens. And we don't expect much. Number 1 in the world. Number 1 in the world. And they said, well, it must have been a fluke. Even the Finnish thought it must have been an accident. We're not even trying for excellence. We're just trying to get people a fair chance, right? So they retested several times, not that year, in the ensuing years. Consistently top 3 in the world. The others are Singapore and South Korea, where they're working the kids to death. Okay, keep it real, okay? And they're succeeding, and that's a different way of doing it. And look, and that's and one could argue about what's the better way to go. But, so, and then the guy who's the head of their education department, basically their education minister, comes and lectures here in the US. It's a hilarious story in the Atlantic. He's explaining to the Americans, we don't do competition. The Americans are like, all right, so anyway, how do you compete? They're like, no, but we do cooperation. They're like, okay, anyway, so what are your private schools up to? They're like, we don't have private schools. He's like, okay, so anyway, what are your private schools doing? Okay, no, but we don't have private schools. Like, he's explaining the system, and it's not fitting into their head. Like, the Americans are like, I don't. So anyway, the bottom line is, what? More competition, right? He's like, it's like, no, that is not the bottom line. It's the exact opposite of the bottom line. And so, and he's written a book about it, and they say Americans try to learn from the Finnish model, but of course, in the New York Times coverage of that story, so a different article, they quote somebody from a conservative think tank saying, oh, well, you can't do the Finnish model here, obviously. I mean, it's a totally different situation. Number one, they're much smaller. Well, we do education state by state, so we'll compare them to one of our states about the same size, Kentucky. Kentucky, disaster. Finland, top of the world, right? Okay, they say, oh, no, and I love this code word. They have a more homogeneous society. Do you know what that means? That's code word for, well, they're all white. Okay, well, so of course they're going to do better. Oh, really? So then you go to Norway, which is their next door neighbor. Same exact ethnicity. Same exact homogeneous society. They use the American model. disaster. They score near the bottom. So what now? What now is we're never going to change.
No,
because
we're not.
when you
We're
tell
not.
Americans this story, you know what they say? Well, our education system might have some troubles, but it's the best one in the world. We're number one! But wait a minute. In the testing, you're like number 15 or number 19. You're in disaster. We're number one! We're
I know,
America!
Jake.
USA! USA! USA!